We're going live. How are you folks doing? And the funny thing is, when I started doing this a week ago, I started to worry every time: am I live or am I not live? And now I'm buying into the fact that as soon as I hit the button, I'm going live. And for a change, I'm going to talk about something that I sell. I think the first couple of days I talked about what my goals were, and then I shared some personal stories. I talked about marketing in general, and I really haven't started to talk about things that I sell. And I am so excited. I'm so thrilled to be talking about this new product that Cars.com came out with. A couple of days ago, I was talking about Gary Vee, and somebody responded on Facebook, and they said, "Man, Gary Vee is right. He's been saying that we're so far behind the times. We need to start doing new things. Really exciting new technology, new social stuff." And he said, "Man, we should start using." We need to start paying folks that are Instagram stars to show up on dealer lots, influencers. Give them $1,000 to show up on the dealer lot. And that was the new exciting thing. And to me, that's not new. It's not exciting. 20 years ago, I was working weekend tent sales with Bigfoot, the monster truck, and that was what was being used as a draw to draw some traffic onto the lot. And I remember I was working a weekend conversion truck sale in upstate New York, and we had done a mailer to previous customers, and a couple came in and they had received our mailer, and we were having a conversation. I'd already sold them the vehicle, and I said, so did Bigfoot draw you in? Was that the reason you came in? And I said, no, actually, Bigfoot was almost a reason why we didn't decide to drive in. We saw the circus going on, and we just didn't want to deal with it. We just wanted to buy our vehicle. And the Instagram influencer is today's version of Bigfoot, I think. However, you do need to attract a customer's attention. You need to get on the radar. And I think Cars Social is probably one of the most inventive ways that I've seen to do this. This has only been for sale in my market for the past couple of weeks or so. And I think I do a pretty good job of explaining the ins and outs. However, it's new. I'm not a product expert on Cars Social yet. I will be, but not quite yet. However, I think Joe Oliveri had a great conversation with Corey Mosley at NADA. And I think this is the best way for me to introduce you to Cars Social, is to show you this quick little video.
But the beautiful thing about this is our data, as you said, is extremely valuable.
Right.
So the only place that you can find Cars.com's audience on Facebook is through Cars.com.
Okay.
So it's different than targeting dealer website traffic on Facebook. What we found in our own testing, we've been testing this for about 6 months or so, is that the Cars.com audience is truly unique versus that of the dealer's website. So 80% of those that come to Cars.com have never been on a dealer's website. So we're really targeting a new audience that the dealer currently is not able to access on Facebook, and showing relevant vehicles to those consumers.
So when you talk about the destination, walk me through really quickly the action that the customer takes from being on Cars.com, and then how that drives back from the dealer to the Cars.com's dealer page, because you talked about not having a connection to their website. So if they have to change vendors or the manufacturer says, hey, you need to go with another provider, you're not losing that information. Am I hearing that correctly?
Exactly. So this is a little different than what you see out there on the show floor in terms of Facebook products.
Okay.
So a consumer comes to Cars.com, they search for, say, a Honda Accord. They visit a VDP, or even if they only get to an SRP,
okay,
and then they leave Cars.com, we'll then find that consumer on Facebook and then show relevant Honda Accords, in this case, for the participating dealers within the program.
Okay.
The consumer, so as they're looking at their news feed, they're looking at friends and family, those sort of things and posts, they would then see those relevant ads and vehicles through a carousel on Facebook within the news feed. They click on that, and then they're taken back to Cars.com to that individual vehicles VDP on Cars.com, and it's a different site than Cars.com typically is. It looks slightly different. It's optimized for mobile. There's no competing dealer ads on this particular page.
They're going to like to hear that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
And the goal of this site is to keep the consumer within the funnel and to drive traffic back down to the dealership store. So what we're seeing is a lot of connections from that site going either back to the dealership site or actually leads being sent.
So how did you arrive at the idea of doing it that way, right, versus how agencies try to do it, or because everybody's in the Facebook game, right? So we all want to catch that wave as soon as before it was Google, now we want to catch the Facebook wave. How did you arrive at this being the best strategy to execute and roll out Car Social?
Great question. Testing.
Thank you.
You're
welcome.
You do ask good questions.
Okay, thank you.
Good questions.
Validation is always good for
I'm here for that.
Like
I'm here for that, Corey. Testing. Lots of testing. So in our testing, we actually tested driving traffic back to the dealer's website as well as driving traffic back to Cars.com. Frankly, we saw better performance driving traffic back to Cars.com, and performance in the sense of a lower cost per click and a higher click-through rate.
Yeah, to me, this is the coolest thing ever. If we can combine an audience that we know is in market for a car, they're hand raisers. They've already told us that they're shopping for a car. It's a local audience. It's people in your backyard. If we can combine that audience with the appropriate, relevant inventory, meaning we know this customer is looking for a sedan or an SUV or a truck, and we can match that customer to one of a piece of your inventory, some of your SUVs, if they're in the market for an SUV. They're local market shoppers looking for an SUV, and we're serving up your SUVs to them on Facebook, on the platform where they're spending their time, or Instagram. So it's combining a highly, highly targeted audience looking for exactly what you're selling, and we're serving advertising to them on the places where they're spending time, Facebook, Instagram. Again, to me, this is a win all the way around. I'm thrilled to be able to offer this. And I was talking to a dealer today that was talking about pay-per-click advertising, and I asked him, what he has to spend for a click, and we got into it, and he's spending considerably more per click for his pay-per-click that isn't nearly as targeted. And I think that's the key here is, we're able to target folks. We know exactly what they're shopping for. We know where they are located. We know their zip code. And we're able to match your inventory to their desires. I love it. So that's Car Social. And if you're not local to me, reach out to your Cars.com rep. This is, again, to me, this is the coolest thing that I've ever had the opportunity to sell as early on as this is. And we've sold hundreds and hundreds of these so far. And it's only been available since NADA, and it's only been available in my market for a few weeks. This is really, really cool. So that's my video today. It's certainly it's selling something. Car Social is the bomb diggity.